So what happened is that they told the man who had been wronged, who had his money taken from him by Abu Jahl, that, there's a man that if you want to get your rights back, if you want to get Abu Jahl to give you your wealth back, there's only one man that he'll listen to. And they were referring him to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. And again, they weren't doing this with any type of sincerity, but they were doing this because they wanted to see something funny happen. They wanted to see a conflict happen between the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu and Abu Jahl. They thought that this would be a funny situation because they knew that of the people of Mecca, Abu Jahl was of the biggest enemies to the Prophet sallallahu. That's Abu Jahl is referred to as the Fir'aun of this ummah. Abu Jahl is referred to as the Pharaoh of this ummah. And so the Prophet sallallahu, he has this man come to him, and the man explains the situation. He says that I was wronged by Abu Jahl. He had taken my money, and that's the people of Quraysh had told me that I can come to you in order to get my rights back. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu informed the man that he was going to assist him, that he was the person that he should come to. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu went straight to the house of Abu Jahl, and he banged on the door of Abu Jahl. And when Abu Jahl had come to the door, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu had a stern look on his face, and he told Abu Jahl straight. He said, "Yeah, Abu Hakam, he said to Abu Jahl, you are going to give this man his rights back." And Abu Jahl, when he saw the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu he said, "Al-an Abu Qasim." Abu Jahl said, "Right now, Abu Qasim." And he went back into his home, got the man's rights, and came back and gave it to him. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu left. And the people of the Quraysh were shocked. They were shocked because they couldn't believe that Abu Jahl would give in to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu so quickly and so easily. And so they went to Abu Jahl and they had asked him, Ya Abu Hakam, because the name of Abu Jahl was actually his kunya, his nickname was actually Abu Hakam. It was the Prophet ﷺ who gave him the nickname of Abu Jahl, because Abu Hakam, it means the father of wisdom. But the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had given him the name Abu Jahl because he would say that if a person is bestowed with wisdom and it doesn't lead them to believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, then they are the most ignorant of people. And so he gave him the name Abu Jahl, which means the father of ignorance. And so they had said to Abu Jahl, they said, Ya Abu Hakim, what's wrong with you? We thought we were going to have a bit of fun with you and Abu Qasim. And Abu Qasim was one of the kunyas of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, one of the nicknames of the Prophet sallallahu, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he had a son whose name was Qasim. And oftentimes in the Arab tradition is that you would take a kunya, you would take a nickname by being called the father of your son. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he had his son Qasim, and so he started to be known as Abu Qasim. Just like the father of Ali bin Abi Talib was referred to as Abu Talib because he had a son named Talib, so on and so forth. Now, the thing is, just as a side note, is that is the case in certain situations, but in other situations, you may be given a nickname that has Abu in it, but it's actually a nickname that's given to you because of a certain quality that you have, just like we talked about Abu Hakam, the father of wisdom. He did not have a son that was named Hakam, but he was known to be a person of wisdom. Or, for example, Abu Bakr, who Abu Bakr in Arabic is a young, lively camel. And so Abu Bakr was given the name Abu Bakr because of the personality traits that he had. Or, for example, Umar ibn Khattab, one of his nicknames was Abu Hafs. Abu Hafs is the father of the lion. And that was due to the bravery and the strength that Umar ibn Khattab would show. So I just wanted to clarify that not every time that you hear the naming system of Abu so-and-so does that necessarily mean that is that person's son's name, but in some situations it is. But in any case, the Quraysh were asking, Ya Abu Hakam, we thought we were going to have some fun between you and Abu Qasim, and you just gave in to him. And Abu Jahl had responded by saying, if you would have seen what I seen, you would have done the same thing. That Abu Jahl was saying that if you would have seen what I saw when he saw the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you would have done the same thing. And in some narrations, it mentions that what Abu Jahl was referring to was that when the Prophet had come to him, he could see behind him what appeared to be like a dragon that was ready to attack and defend the Prophet Muhammad if Abu Jahl did not do what the Prophet had informed him to do. And this is one of the hallmark characteristics of the Prophet Muhammad is that the Prophet Muhammad he never got upset for himself. That when it came to people harming him or to people taking the rights of him, he never became upset for himself and he never sought revenge for himself. However, when it came to the rights of other people, there was no one that could withstand the wrath of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.